The core challenge in solid-state physics is observing and characterizing the invisible quantum mechanics of charge transport inside a physical wafer. Standard material characterization relies on standard conductivity, which is derived from macroscopic drift current. This diagram shows a one-dimensional schematic of a semiconductor. The resulting drift current is a composite metric. It is simultaneously dependent on the charge of the carrier, the concentration of those carriers, and their physical mobility. A simple one-dimensional voltage current measurement cannot decouple these variables. An ammeter provides a single gross output. It reads the total flow, but remains entirely blind to the density or the speed of the individual charge carriers moving inside the material. Measuring standard conductivity leaves an engineer unable to map the microscopic reality of the charge carriers within a semiconductor lattice. This split-screen thought experiment illustrates the failure of that macroscopic metric. On the left, we have a densely packed atomic lattice with a massive concentration of slow-moving electrons. On the right, a sparse lattice with a very low concentration of highly mobile, fast-moving holes. Despite representing opposing physical and statistical states, both semiconductor types yield the exact same overall charge transport. Conventional current assumes positive flow, which masks whether negatively charged electrons or positively charged holes are doing the actual work. The central engineering tension is mathematical isolation. How do we isolate the carrier type and their individual mobility when their macroscopic outputs are identical clones? To decouple these variables, we must abandon the one-dimensional model and introduce a perpendicular physical constraint. The solution to this current ambiguity is the Hall effect. This diagram illustrates the physical geometry of the test setup. We introduce an external, steady magnetic field perpendicular to the drift current. This introduces the Lorentz force, which governs this space. A charge interacting with a magnetic field experiences a force equal to its charge multiplied by the cross product of its velocity and magnetic field. Isolating the velocity vectors, electrons and holes move in strictly opposite physical directions along the primary axis. We apply the cross product sequentially. First, look at the negatively charged electrons moving against the current. The Lorentz force deflects those electrons, curving their path toward a specific transverse edge of the material. Now shift focus and apply the exact same cross product to the positively charged holes moving with the current. Because holes possess opposite charge and velocity compared to electrons, the cross product creates a mathematical double negative, and deflection occurs in the same direction. This shared directional deflection forces the true majority carrier to reveal itself by piling up on a single edge. During this initial accumulation phase, the forcefully deflected charge carriers physically pile up together, pressing tightly onto the transverse boundary face. This physical accumulation of charge generates an opposing transverse electric field, the Hall field. This accumulation continues until the Hall field precisely cancels the Lorentz force, creating a measurable steady-state equilibrium. Looking at this comparative split screen, we can observe the differing equilibria in N-type versus P-type materials. In an N-type material, the accumulation of electrons results in a distinctly negative transverse face. Contrast this with the P-type material, where hole accumulation creates a positive transverse voltage. Measuring the polarity of the transverse voltage identifies the semiconductor's majority carrier type. Now that carrier type is known, we must mathematically extract the exact concentration of those carriers from the voltage measurement. This equation defines the Hall coefficient, which acts as the bridge between the macroscopic measurement and the microscopic geometry. The core-derived relationship is that the carrier concentration is inversely proportional to the Hall coefficient. By inserting the known elementary charge and the newly measured Hall coefficient, the equation outputs an exact count of charge carriers per unit volume. The first hidden variable is now decoupled. We no longer have a vague drift current. We possess an exact map of lattice density. Recall the original problem. Standard conductivity left carrier concentration and mobility permanently entangled. This animation displays our final equation. Because concentration is now an explicitly known value, the final variable, mobility, is mathematically isolated. Multiplying baseline conductivity by the magnitude of the Hall coefficient isolates the true speed and freedom of the carriers. Through one orthogonal manipulation, a single transverse voltage reading entirely reverse engineers the internal charge transport mechanics. These theoretical derivations dictate modern solid-state fabrication and testing. These exact Hall measurements are used globally to verify the doping concentrations and mobility ratings of newly fabricated semiconductor wafers. The reverse engineering application of the Hall equation utilizes a standardized piece of silicon as a highly precise magnetic field meter. If material concentration is static and known, the Hall voltage acts as a direct, proportional sensor for unknown external magnetic fields. The Hall effect is both a rigorous analytical lens for material science and an operational mechanism deployed in modern digital systems. We have moved from trusting a blind, one-dimensional current to building a robust, three-dimensional structural model. Ultimately, the standard macroscopic current is just an illusion that masks deep quantum statistical realities within the semiconductor. Imposing a transverse magnetic constraint is the mathematical way to force an opaque material to reveal its internal dynamics. To truly understand the flow of electrons through a solid, an engineer cannot just measure the current, they must manipulate the geometry of the physical fields that govern it.